me hand over to Sharon Castle and Erin Dixon for our morning motivation. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. It's so lovely to be here again. And as on Tuesday, I started a little conversation about stress and anxiety and feeling okay. And today I brought along Erin Dixon, who is one of the youngest members of our MindFit Coaching Academy here in Ballito. And I also wanted to bring her along so that we could get another perspective from a young person on what's going on in the lives of people in Ballito after the hectic week that we had last week. So Erin, welcome today. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And I'd love you to just tell everyone out there, you know, your perspective, you know, your view of what's going on in the world today in terms of becoming a coach. Why did you decide that you wanted to become a life coach?
Oh, thanks, Sharon. You know, I think the decision to become a life coach was quite an easy one for me when I started reflecting back on my own life and relationships that I've had with people. Really driven just by a desire to facilitate and hold space for people and let them know that they're not alone, and that no one needs to struggle on their own either. I think we've all, somewhere along the line, been through a point in our lives where we've just had maybe a bit of a dark time and felt, oh, I just need someone to lean on. And when I started going back looking at my life, I kind of realized that in a way, people were just coming to me and talking to me. And there was such a beautiful joy and satisfaction out of holding space for people, being able to let people know that they are not alone, and just be a listening ear for them. So I think when MindFit Academy came into my life and everything just unfolded in the most beautiful way, there was just this yes feeling, that beautiful gut feeling, and I just thought this is something for me, and it's been an incredible journey so far.
Wow. So you heard the nudge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You heard the call, you got the nudge, and you decided you wanted to help people. And it's people like you, like what we've experienced last week in our community, just rising up and deciding they're going to help, they're going to care. But today I just want to talk a little bit about that anxiety and that stress, because it's really good to care, but it's not very healthy to carry. In other words, care about your community, but don't carry them. That takes away people's dignity. You've got to empower people. And by doing that, you take away the anxiety of trying to fix anybody. You can't fix, you can't patch people up. That is up to each person. And every time somebody decides that the world needs to look a certain way for them to be okay, for them to be happy, or people need to behave in a certain way for you to be okay, for you to be happy, the resistance starts, and that's where the stress comes in. And I'm sure we've all seen that with relationships, with communities, with work, with finances. I want it to be a certain way, and once it's that way, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be happy. Then I'll be content. But it's actually the other way around. It's actually the inside out way. It's saying to yourself, who I am and what's happening to me right now in my life is okay. And even if it doesn't seem ideal, if you're okay and you're feeling okay, fine and wonderful and good about yourself, that permeates everybody else, and everyone starts to, you know, raise their own vibration and feel good about themselves. So that's my invitation for you today, is how can you just be okay with whatever is turning up in your life? And I always say, you know, the secret to happiness, if you get this, the secret to happiness is being okay with whatever turns up. How simple is that? Absolutely. I'm okay with this person. I'm okay with what's even happening in our community. What we saw last week in our community, with everybody being okay just to get together, to stand up, to be counted, to stand guard, meant that they were okay with the situation. Otherwise, they were falling to pieces. I never saw that. I saw people being confident, being strong as a community, putting together as a community. And again, I hope that we can keep that going forward. You know, that is not just a short-term solution to the problem that we thought that was happening then, but that it's actually something we take forward in our lives, and it starts at home.
Absolutely.
Can you be okay with everyone that's at home with you, with the way that people are behaving? And if you don't really like it, take a look at yourself, because very often, here's the key, it's a little bit of a mirror reflection for you so that you can be okay with you. So let everyone be okay. And you can't really negotiate or help anyone when they're in a state of mind where they are in resistance. Because that means that you are on high alert, you're in survival mode. And in survival mode, you actually can't think clearly. Do you know that you actually get a bit stupid when you're in survival mode? You don't act properly. We can see what's been happening in this past week. So it's only when you calm down that your cognitive brain starts to kick in, and then you can find solutions to problems. When you are not in that state and you are in survival, all you are in is in a reactionary state, a knee-jerk response to things, and that's never helpful. So it might seem in the moment that that's the best that you could do, but if you just calm down, breathe, take a moment, step back, now you have clarity. Now you can think more clearly. So, going forward, as we clean up, as we rebuild, hope is one of those things that we need to make sure we have in our hearts. Because once there's hope, then there's forgiveness, and then we can be content, and then we can continue with our lives. Absolutely. And I see people getting back to normal, and it looks wonderful to me. Our stores are full of food again. We can get fuel. So we are getting back to that space where we will become complacent if we don't remind ourselves of how important it is just to be okay with what's going on now and build from there. So Erin, I don't know if you want to add anything to that. What are you seeing as young people?
I think it's been, I've said to a lot of people, in between all of the chaos, there's been this beautiful bright light of beauty, which has been the sense of community. And the word Ubuntu has really just, I think, rung so loudly over the last couple of days. And it is, I am because you are. It's humanity. And it's something that's brought all of us together. Going through, getting new tools and ideas and new perspectives of things through the Mindful Coaching Academy has also enabled me to take a step back and, number one, say to myself, well, what can I do in this space? There was almost this kind of idea that we needed to run out there and be on the bridge and do this and do that. For me, that wasn't where I needed to be. My lane was to be there and to facilitate and hold space for people that were maybe going through a rough time, needed an ear, and kind of just help bring the energy levels down a little bit with people. So in between all of this, I think as a young person, it's been amazing to see how many people have come together, and it really gives us a sense of hope for the future. I was chatting with someone yesterday who said to me, I've been wanting to leave South Africa because I felt like my country didn't love me. But now I'm realizing that my country actually needs me.
Yes.
And that's what it's actually all about. We all have the power to make a difference, and we all have the capability to do it as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I also feel it's a lot to do with action. A lot of us are very complacent, and we just expect life to fix itself.
Right.
And if everybody just does a little bit at a time and get involved and get together and do it together, it's just so much easier, and the rewards at the end of the day is there.
Totally. And we've seen that happening.
Absolutely.
So yeah, come, Ballito, we
Let's
can do this
it.
together.
Thank you so much, ladies. It was lovely having you in
Thank you,
studio.
Ange.
We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Yes.
Maybe later in the week.